Hello, and welcome to the audio commentary of Blood, lightly broiled on my first playthrough, by PPybro. Glad to have you here, and also glad to be back so soon after making the DMC Devil May Cry video. I have a lot to say, I have a lot to be happy about, I have a lot to work on as well. But the main things that I'm really happy about with this video come down to the speed of which it came out, as well as the overall quality of the footage that I captured. Because minusing the time that it took to make the PPybro video about Mac rides after I made the DMC video, it only took me 2 months to make this video. There's a lot of experimenting in this video, a lot of me trying things I haven't tried before, like introducing an external character. I'll see how I can implement that in the future, and maybe implement more characters, who knows? Excuse me, I have like some hiccups or something. And you know, but yeah, 2 months, and while I did say that I wanted this out by Halloween, and I was like 12 days late, you know, compared to DMC, which took 1.5 years, I'm not gonna fucking complain. Honestly, right now, my next goal is to literally get the next PPybro video done in like a week. Like, I'm already halfway through the script. And that's another thing I should talk about, is the scripts. It's one thing I'm noticing is that you write a script and you don't think it's that long, and then it ends up being 40 minutes. Because this video, I was aiming for it to be only 20 minutes. Like, I was not aiming it to be as long as it was. I was not expecting it to be as long as it was. I was like, okay. Because after the DMC video, I was like, okay, 55-minute video, no wonder it took 1.5 years, right? So I was like, okay, for my next video, I'm just gonna make something shorter and better. Shorter and sweeter, basically. And then this video ended up being 40 minutes, or nearly 38 specifically. And I was like, but the script is so much shorter, and I got the script done so quickly. I think it's mainly because I just spend a lot of time showing gameplay, which is very easy to do. You know, it's very easy to just put a clip in the editor in like Filmora and just let it run for like 20 seconds, and I do that a bunch throughout this video, so that probably bulked up the runtime by like 40%. It makes it difficult to estimate how long a script will be, and how long it turns into like in terms of length of a video. Because it was only like a 6-page script, if I remember correctly. 6-page script. And so now I'm writing the next PPybro video. And I'm like, well, how long should I make this? Because I'm only aiming for it to be 10 minutes. And that's the real difficulty and challenge I'm finding now. But the true improvement that I'm making is just finding that if I could just get the script done and then find a good chance to voice it when I'm like home alone and stuff, you know, like then all I gotta do is edit, and I like editing, you know, like it still requires motivation, of course, but like, you know, I don't mind editing as much as like forcing myself to sit down and do script writing. So if I could just like get that out as soon as possible, I do believe that I could really up my upload schedule, both on PPybro and PPybro. But we'll see. There are some parts where the editing of this video is kind of basic, and kind of like rudimentary. I think that's really just because with this one, I just wanted to really get into the meat and potatoes of it. You know, the whole appeal of this video is, you know, seeing someone who's never played this game before and seeing them like get used to it and like fail at it because this is a hard game. And here's comes the most extensively detailed part of the video. I've never actually seen this rendered. I've only seen it in the editor. But this concept, this Shaun of the Dead parody, is one of the first ideas I had for the video. Because I knew, like, you know, I was thinking about how there's so many ways to do this level and how to go about completing it. And so I was like, oh, why don't I do it? Why don't I do it like the Shaun of the Dead thing with the percussion music? Because I really love that scene. It's one of my favorite movie scenes of all time. I fucking love that scene. I was like, why don't I make a parody of it? The annoying thing, slightly annoying, was that I had to get that Filmora like studio, like the thing that gives you like extra transitions, and I needed that because, you know, as you know, if I'm gonna parody Edgar Wright, if I'm gonna do like an Edgar Wright parody, I need those swiping transitions, and I need those, like, you know, swipe to the right, swipe to the left, blurring stuff, you know, fast-paced comic book shit that Edgar Wright loves. And so I had to get that, which is annoying, but I think it made for a good I think it made for a good final product. That's what I tend to do, really, is just base an entire, you know, that's how videos start. Is I think, well, videos start with me thinking, okay, what game do I want to play next? And then I try to think of like a central joke that's like really good. That can be at any point in the video that motivates me to, like, you know, come up with things just as funny as it. And for this video, it was the Shaun of the Dead parody. Like, I came up with that idea like so many months ago. Oh, and it was also the Blood Debts credits at the end. I came up with that idea like months ago too. And both of those ideas, I love them both so much that I wanted to put them in a video for so long. But I also wanted to make sure that the video I was putting it in was like worthy of those jokes that I thought were, you know, pretty good, and I still think they're pretty good. But that's just me. I'm just thinking what were the equivalents for them for the DMC video? Because, like, I think one part was definitely the part where Virgil shoots the pregnant woman, and I make a meme about that. That's the moment that I really remember from the DMC video. And if you ask me what was my favorite moment from that video, I'd probably say that moment because it's so fucking stupid. But yeah, that's how my videos tend to progress, is I come up with one idea for one gag. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. I come up with one idea for like one gag, and I think it's really good, and then I'm forced to make like a bunch of other gags to, like, you know, justify making the video. Because, you know, it's not enough to have one good gag, obviously. And so I have to, like, okay, now I have to write a whole video around it. You could argue that I made this entire video just as an excuse to make that Blood Debts parody at the end. Somewhat. It's not entirely true, but somewhat. And I do expect, this is unrelated to anything I've said, but I do expect people to obviously compare this to Civ 11. And, you know, it's easy to say, you know, a lot of people discovered this game from watching Civ 11, myself included. You know, I wouldn't know this game if it weren't for him. I think the main difference of between his videos on Blood and this one is, you know, it's the perspective of a guy who really knows what he's doing, as in Civi. I mean, the series is literally called Pro Blood, whereas in this one, I highlight that I'm going straight into the normal skill, which is known for being, you know, unforgiving to first-time players, and it's my first time, you know, so it's a completely different thing. It's a completely different perspective. Still the same game, though, and I think that's an interesting way of going about it. Because if I did have to list my main channel inspirations, Civi 11 would be one of them, and I do consider him one of the most underrated YouTube channels on the site. What I try to do is mix the deadpan humor of Civi 11 with the overall charisma and showmanship-esque style of Scott the Woz. And I think it makes, well, I can't say it makes for a great style. I think it's too early to tell. We'll see as time goes on. You know, I mean, this series only has 2 videos under its belt. Speaking of which, I know I have a bunch of other videos on the main channel. The plan, for anyone curious, which you're probably not, but for anyone curious, my overall plan is to keep on making videos in this series of more games and stuff. But then, eventually, hopefully, and I mean hopefully, this new series of me talking about games will overshadow all the other videos that I've made on the main channel. And when that happens, I plan to, what's the name? What's the thing? When you know, delist them. You know, not delete them, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a playlist on the channel, and I'll probably call it like Portable Pybro Classic or something, and that's where, you know, from top 5 games of 2020 up until the Muse ranking video, that's where all of those videos will go. And they'll be taken off the channel itself, but they'll still be accessible. One thing I've noticed is that the DMC video hasn't done very well view-wise, which, you know, is not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all, you know, it's fine. This video hasn't done incredibly better, although, again, it's still too early to tell. I think it's at, like, 25 views of writing this, and it's, like, just like over a day or so. Too early to tell really if it's like truly failed, but you know, even if it does, that's still fine. But I think the funniest thing is that on that Muse ranking video that has like 10,000 views, I still to this day get hate comments on that video. To this fucking day, I still get hate comments on that video, even though I am long past it. I still get hate comments on it. I love these moments where the cultists just killed themselves by accident. It's very funny. It's very 90s AI, but it's still very funny. But yeah, TLDR, when the time is right and these new videos overshadow the old ones will be put into their own playlist and delisted. Still accessible if you want to see them, but you'll have to like go onto the channel into that playlist. But that hasn't happened yet because I feel like removing those videos from public circulation, including the Muse ranking video, which is the only video I have that's on this channel at least that's ever, you know, actually got a substantial number of views. To just take that offline would probably be pretty stupid. I wonder if I wonder if the algorithm is like mad at me because I made a Muse ranking video and the algorithm quite liked that and rewarded me with like 10,000 views. And now say, oh no, I want to do these ones, because the views video was always meant to be a one-off. Like, it was always just something I made because fuck it, I want to make it. But like, there was no like long-term plan with that. That was always just a one-off. And I'm wondering if the algorithm saw it the same way, and now it's like mad at me. It's like, now I'm making completely different videos, and I'm wondering if, you know, it's really mad at me for doing so. Oh well, I'll just keep making videos on these games, on these obscure games, until eventually one of them gets traction. And the good thing is that, you know, while I want it to happen sooner rather than later, of course, the fact that it happens later hopefully means that someone who'd be willing to check out this channel would be, you know, they'd click on the channel and they'd see a huge list of videos that had previously gone unnoticed where they can enjoy more of me. That's really why I appreciate channels like Civvy11 and Scott the Woz. They're my two biggest, like, you know, inspirations in terms of purely YouTube. It's not just because their videos are great. It's, you know, their videos aren't just simply digestible. They're not one and dones. You know, every few months I go back to, like, you know, a few of, you know, Civvy's videos or Scott's videos, and, you know, I just watch them over and over again, no matter, like, you know, not over a short period of time, but, like, you know, I'll always, you know, there'll always be a next time for me watching some of those videos, and that means, you know, the views keep going up, because that's my aim overall, is to make videos like that, where, you know, videos where people would want to watch over and over again, because the more videos you make, you know, because, like, compare it to like a commentary channel, you know, where they have to keep on making videos in order to, you know, stay relevant, because, you know, if they don't have any, you know, new videos about new things, then they become irrelevant because all of their videos are outdated. But with this channel and some of the channels I really appreciate, that's not the case. You know, no video ever goes out of style or, you know, becomes outdated. There's no reason for you to not watch it. You may not want to, and that's fine, but there's no reason for you to not. It's never, you know, none of my videos become outdated or such. And I feel like that'd be good in the long term for analytics, because it feels like, you know, if this video is good enough, I can see it doing well for my channel. You know, no matter how long my channel exists, there'll always be people coming back to it, or at least that's like the plan, the ideal plan. You know, I'm not saying that's happening. That'd be, you know, pretty confident of me to say. But yeah. Ooh. Oh no, this is still a few minutes away. What else to talk about? I already talked about Civvy. I already talked about the development. Brief audio checkup. Not much has changed from the last video. I'm still doing things the same way I was before, except for some. No, I was gonna say I'm like doing some brief edits through Audition, but I was basically doing that for the DMC video. Yeah, I'll see what else I could do. I mean, it sounds pretty alright. It's hard to tell though, because, you know, so there are some YouTubers that sound so amazing, like, in terms of their audio quality. You know, sounds so crisp and clean, and then I always see like YouTubers who have millions of subscribers, and they're using just a Blue Yeti. You know, the exact same Blue Yeti that I'm currently speaking in. You know, like, I don't watch him, but I saw a brief clip of, like, Kai Cenat, and apparently he uses a Blue Yeti, and I'm like, bro, this guy is rich as hell, and he's got the same mic as me. I just find it funny. Anyway, yeah, this moment, it does look like I you know, intentionally went into House of Horrors and I just made it sound and look like it was an accident. I can verify from playing the game and gathering footage, it was not an accident. I went to that area in Dark Carnival, and I literally, like, said, oh, I don't know the code to get in. I didn't look it up or anything. I had no clue what the code is, but I looked down at my hotbar to see the 3 keys that I already had, and I was like, fuck it, I could try. You know, and what's the harm in trying? You know, thinking, oh, why not? You know, I could do that. And then it worked. The honest to God plan was not to do House of Horror. That was not. This was never meant to be in the video, in all honesty, because I didn't know how to get in. I genuinely didn't know how to get in. So the fact that this level is included in the video is a complete accident. The thing is that when I first got into it, I knew that I was gonna have a bad time in this level. But I also knew it was gonna make the video better. So I did it. I did it for the Vine, as they say. But yeah. I honestly think that I might cut this audio commentary off short, because I don't have much more to add, to be honest. Although, with that being said, I do have one more thing that I want to talk about. That being the next video. Now, I feel like I can say this because I doubt anyone's gonna watch this who actually cares about, you know, what the next video and stuff is gonna be, and, you know, I don't think it's gonna be too consequential. The next video is going to be about Devil May Cry 2. I implied it in the DMC video at the end. I said, well, I didn't say, but I was implying that I was gonna do Devil May Cry 2, and that is the next video. I feel like, with my experience making this video, the best thing I can do right now to make it come out quickly is to simply get the next PPybro video out as soon as possible. Because for those of you who don't know, I have 2 main channels that I make content for right now. The main one is this one. This is where like 90% of my effort goes into. But I also have a channel. I have multiple channels, but the one I actively upload is PPybro, which is where I talk about roller coaster stuff, just for the hell of it. And basically I have it set up so that for every upload I do on PPybro, I follow it up with a PPybro video. So basically I do one, then the other, then the other, then the other. So I feel like the best thing I can do right now is to not dwell on the next PPybro, because while PPybro is a channel that's currently seeing quite a bit more success than this one, for the most part, overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a channel that I want to put too much effort into. You know, I really like PPybro, and I really like making videos for PPybro, but it's not my main goal. You know, it's like a fun side project, whereas this is where I really want to take things. And so yeah, I feel like the best thing I could do is get the PPybro video out the way. I'm already halfway done with the script, or at least I think I am. As I said before, I don't really know how long videos will be depending on the scripts anymore, so it's hard to say. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say. pretty much everything I have to offer. Hate to cut this short, but getting a little staggered, getting a little tired, and you know, I'm basically repeating myself at this point. Everything that I've wanted to say, I've said. While I had some doubts overall when looking back at, like, you know, looking back at this video when I was about to upload it, that's something you always get when you're about to upload the video. You know, you're going through the final checks. The last thing I always do in the video making process is censor all the swear words. I go through and censor every swear word and something, and at the same time I'm just going through and making sure, you know, a final double check that there's no mistakes, you know, the audio is fine and all that. And you know, during that process, or at least this time, I don't remember exactly how it was for DMC Don't Make Right. I think it's because with a 55-minute video, I just didn't really care and didn't really want to go through the details one more time. Whereas with this one, I combed through the details once more just as I was about to upload it. I know I said I was going to cut this short, but now I'm actually coming up with things to say. But overall, I had some doubts, just overall in like the execution and the comedy. I hope this video holds up, because I will say, as of right now, this is probably the highest quality video I have ever made on any kind of YouTube channel. This is probably as good as I've done up until now. Obviously, I could do better, obviously, but I feel like this is, you know, this is the kind of video where, you know, the impression that I wanted to aim for is that someone could look at this video and be surprised that I have under 100 subscribers. So yeah, and in that aspect, I hope I have succeeded. I hope. It's, again, at the end of the day, it's not for me to decide, it's for the audience. So with that said, I don't know where I'm cutting this off, but I'm cutting it off. Goodbye for now. I mean, I guess the next time, you know, I'll make a video, the next video is going to be on PPybro, and then after that, it's Devil May Cry 2. So, if you watch PPybro, I'll see you there, and after that, I'll see you back on the main channel for Devil May Cry 2, so be excited for that. And yeah, this has been Portable Pybro with an audio commentary, an incomplete audio commentary, but nothing really more to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Stay safe.